Hi guys, it's Renee. How are you? I am doing well. Thank you for asking. Welcome back. I'm filming today some things that I have found pretty interesting recently. And by interesting, I mean that I have been wearing them quite a bit, and I am looking forward to sharing this with you. So we'll start off with, let's see, the most bombastic of all of the things that I have here. And this is Gold Rose Oud by Tiziana Terenzi. Tiziana Terenzi. I'm turning into my friend who has problems pronouncing everything. Now, this is essentially a oud, rose, and patchouli fragrance. And it is not particularly sweet, and everything is fairly well blended. But that fragrance is the thing that taught me to be careful with how many sprays I use. Be careful. I was choking out myself. I was choking out other people, which was not amazing because I was at work. And, it's not necessarily an environment that encourages for you to walk in smelling any which way, whether or not that is particularly pleasant to you or other people. You are encouraged to be mindful of the fact that people have allergies or particularly strong reactions to scents, and so to minimize any sort of strong fragrances. And I wore that to work, and I'm just like, sorry, not sorry. I don't really know what to tell you. It lasted forever too. Literally forever. And so for all the people who were offended by how good I smelled, I don't really know what to tell you. I hope you enjoyed the oud, because it is not a shy oud either. It was here, present, and accounted for. And the patchouli and the rose just kind of rounded out everything. It was a little spicy in the depth, sweetened up a little bit with the rose when it dried down. But that oud is always, always, always present. So if you do not like oud, particularly when it's enhanced by patchouli that makes it a little bit more earthy, this is probably not the thing for you. But if you like a nice, strong fragrance that is both unisex and yet powerful all the same, that's the thing for you. But you must like oud. You must like oud. The rose is there, but it's not an outstanding player. It's just something that adds a little floral quality that smooths everything out. But mostly it's an oud patchouli with a little bit of rose thrown in, just for flavoring, just for seasoning. But it's good. It's good. I like it. So the other thing that I have been loving is, and y'all, I don't even know why I like this. And maybe it's because I'm trying to figure out why, that I have been wearing it and wearing it and wearing it. And this is Alexandria Fragrance's Other 13. Now, this is the inspired fragrance for Labo, Another 13. Now, I do have another Labo fragrance on here, which is Vetiver 46. Having purchased that Labo fragrance, Vetiver 46, with my own money, makes me realize I don't really want to purchase Labo fragrances. This is $180 for the 50 ml, and I believe it's like $280 or $300 for the 100 ml. I'm not doing that. Particularly, and here's why. Because it's nothing bad against Labo. But I am anosmic to a good portion of their fragrances for a good portion of the time that I own them. And so I have to just keep spraying and keep spraying and keep spraying until eventually like I start to pick it up. Now other people around me of course can smell them. They have excellent projection and sillage, and decent lasting power, but I don't smell it. And since I wear my fragrances, for me the fact that I don't smell it is a problem for me. So with that being said, I wanted to try another 13, and I just didn't feel like spending the money for something that I wasn't sure whether or not I was going to be able to smell it. So I bought this, which is Other 13. Now, this is interesting. It's very clean and kind of musky and sexy smelling, which clean and musk, you know, it's that white musk type of thing, but there's something kind of like sexy about it, not necessarily in that like, oh, I just stepped out of the shower and I'm clean type of thing, but like, you know, like fresh sheets but after you've finished rolling around on it a little bit type of musk. It's that type of sexy and musky. It smells good, but could I pinpoint anything that's in here? No. Could I particularly pick out any sort of notes? No. What I can say is that people seem to like this. And in the bottle it smells amazing. On my skin, I don't know, because I can't smell it. But it smells good to, in the bottle and to other people, and has pretty decent sillage and projection. So I just keep spraying it, and I have been spraying it until eventually I can train my nose to start picking it up, which makes me glad that I bought the Alexandria fragrance version and not Labo, because I would hate to spend $180 just to try to train my nose to not be anosmic to this. Again, people seem to like it, which, you know, take that for what it's worth. I keep wearing it not only just to train my nose, but because apparently it smells good, even though I can't smell it on myself. And as I said, you know, what I smell coming out of the bottle from the cap, and when I spray it on strips, it smells nice. I want to smell what it smells like when it interacts with my skin. I'm disappointed by the fact that I have not gotten to experience that yet, but we're working on it. We're training our noses. We're working on it. All right, now that I've mentioned the first Labo fragrance, let's talk about this one. This is Vetiver 46, the first fragrance and only fragrance currently that I have purchased from Labo. Now, the thing behind Vetiver 46 is that I did not go for this. I did not. I went for Noir 29 because that smoky, sexy bad boy was just the business. And my bestie left with Noir 29 and I was so jealous. However, I was all set to purchase it, put my credit card down, go ahead, Noir 29. And then I wandered over and I sprayed Vetiver 46. And I was just like, I don't know what this is, but I must have this. It is smoky, resinous, sexy, oh, earthy. And then when it dries down to this woody, ambery earthiness that is just, I am in love. I am in love. This thing is, and what I love about it is that you don't really need a lot. I mean, I have been using the heck out of it, but a little bit goes a long way. But I feel also that this is one of those fragrances that you just can't overspray, you know, because there is a smoothness to it that is just makes it very easy to wear. Now, I was very anosmic to this when I first got it. And so when I brought it home, I was a little bit disappointed because I couldn't recapture the joy that I had found when I was at the store smelling it. But as I have been training myself and just wearing it some more, it is literally one of my favorite scents in my collection. And if I walk into my closet and just start sniffing my fragrances, because I do that sometimes, this is typically one of the first things that I reach for. There is something about the way it smells, the smoothness, the smokiness, the woody earthiness of it that just makes me feel good. It makes me feel really good. And I really like it. Vetiver 46 by Labo. I'm gonna come back to this. We'll move on to my current favorite thing in my collection that I've been rocking in recent weeks. This is going to be Sultan Vetiver by Nishane. This is a house out of Istanbul, and the concentration is Extrait de Parfum. Now, Sultan Vetiver is bombastic. It is all-consuming. It is enveloping. It is vetiver, 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 vetiver. And if you do not like vetiver, and this ain't your grandmama's vetiver either, this is like dry, kind of spicy, earthy, woody, green vetiver. Like if you don't like any of those things, this is not for you. But Sultan Vetiver has 4 different types of vetiver in it. Haitian vetiver, Javanese vetiver, bourbon vetiver, and what's the last one? Brazilian vetiver. Now, I do not care enough really to find out what's the difference between the 4 types of vetiver, but what I do know is that I appreciate how they play in here. And what I also appreciate about Sultan Vetiver is the spiciness and the freshness of it up front. There's something citrusy when you first spray it, and that is combined with what feels like some sort of pepper because it's a little fizzy. So it's probably bergamot or neroli up front and some sort of pepper when you first spray it. And then the vetiver comes out, and the vetiver changes. It's kind of sharp at the beginning, and then as it dries down, it mellows out and sweetens up, but it is still earthy and woody, and I find it to be a particularly warming type of fragrance. Now, I don't think that this is, I would not say that this is unisex. I would say that this is a masculine fragrance. I am not one necessarily that cares about that sort of stuff, because I believe Vetiver 46 from Labo is also classified as a masculine fragrance. I don't know what they're talking about. Whatever. Wear what you want to wear, however you want to wear it in an appropriate situation. There are very few fragrances, in my opinion, out there that is singly classified as one gender or the other. Wear whatever it is that smells good to you and that makes you feel good. If they don't like it, they don't have to. Their opinion is neither required nor desired. Anyways, moving on. Sultan Vetiver. As it dries down is where the beauty of this fragrance comes out. There is a honeyed sweetness to it that is not at all overwhelming. It sweetens up a little bit, but don't mistake me. This is not a sweet fragrance whatsoever. It just mellows out a little bit, becomes just a smidgen sticky and sweet, but not overwhelmingly so. There is no sugariness to this. It's just like a smooth mellowness of like how like honey can be a little unctuous and just like shiny and smooth on the surface. That's kind of what that looks like. Essentially, it becomes the smell version of what this liquid looks like. And then there's amber in the base that also like warms it up and mellows it out and adds a smidgen of sweetness. But I really love this. Now, Nishane is extrait de parfum, so you do not need at all a lot of any of their fragrances. And I have 5 of them so far. And I just really love this. And I want you to see how much I have used out of it, which doesn't look like a lot, but when you consider that this is like a 2 to 3 spray type of thing, and I've had it for like a month, I've been rocking it. I've been rocking it. Now, to talk about my second favorite way to wear this, it's with these two combined, oh my Lord, this is good. This is so good. There's something about this smoky, sexy, earthy vetiver that's in here. There's also a lot of olibanum and labdanum that's in here. These go well together. Trust me, if you have it, try it. These go so well. This Vetiver 46 tends to go a little powdery, musky on my skin as well. And so it helps to smooth and soften out the sharpness that is present initially in the beginning of Sultan Vetiver. And then as it dries down, it just becomes this smooth, like cashmere over your skin smooth, earthy warmth that has a hint of sweetness and a lot of muskiness that just, I don't know, it works well for me. I'm not gonna guarantee that it's gonna work for everybody, but it works well for me and I have been loving it. All right, last two things. This is another fragrance from Nishane that I have been loving, which is Nishane Ani. Now this is a spicy, by spicy I mean black pepper and ginger in the head note, but this is vanilla, spicy vanilla, and I really love it. Well, love is a strong word. I am not a big vanilla fragrance type of person, mostly because a lot of vanillas tend to be almost sickly sweet to me, and I don't like that. I like a degree of sweetness within my fragrance, but not like this overwhelmingly sickly sweet thing. And so this is the type of vanilla that I like. And this smells like vanilla to me, from what I'm accustomed to cooking with or smelling, or what I think vanilla ought to smell like in my head. That's what that smells like to me. Also, this is beast mode. That's a very overused term within the fragrance community, but this is like sit up, slap you in the face. Hey, I'm here. Go easy, go easy. Ani said she didn't come to play with y'all, okay? She did not come to play. She's here for the business. And she delivers on the business that she is here for, because she lasts and lasts and lasts. And when she settles down, she's just this warm, sexy vanilla that just works really well. I am looking forward to exploring her more in the cold weather to see if she will continue to behave much as she did during the summer months for me. All right, and the last thing that I have here that I have been enjoying recently is the Dark Side by Francesca Bianchi. Now, Francesca Bianchi's fragrances have been a little bit of a rage throughout the community, and I was, I don't like a lot of stuff that comes with hype, because very rarely does anything live up to the hype. But I blind bought several of her fragrances, and I have to say, I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad about it. As a matter of fact, I blind bought another one the other day, and what are you gonna do? I love it. This is spices and honey with a little bit of animalics thrown in that fade down into just something warm and sexy and almost edible on my skin. And I am not mad at it. I'm going to talk about this more in depth in another video, but I would say that this is something that you should check out and it's not that expensive either. It's a 30 ml extrait de parfum, and it's 98 euros, which depending on the exchange rate from USD to euro is anywhere from $115 to $120, which as far as niche fragrances goes, not bad at all. So I would definitely encourage you, if you don't mind a touch of animalics in your fragrances, you should check it out. All right, guys, thank you so much for spending some time with me. I hope you enjoyed this quick video. Bye.